Singh, bear in mind that you're still under your oath to speak. Questions from Commissioner Smith?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Do you have the statement with you? May I refer you to paragraph 11?
Yes.
Where you say, sometime later, Ms. Shaddick told me she was going downstairs to the ground floor because she received information that someone was using a spreadsheet for tabulation instead of SOPs. You then say, quite some time after that, the matter was resolved.
Yes.
And she returned upstairs. Did you ascertain for yourself whether in fact spreadsheet had been used for tabulation?
Well, no, what she told me that her leader, Mr. Barajagio, who was then the opposition leader, called them down for a meeting to tell them about the spreadsheet. But as far as I'm aware, no decision was taken by the commission to use a spreadsheet.
No, but what I'm asking is, what I'm trying to find out,
If I had
if you ascertained whether...
that time when she went down,
Yeah.
no, I didn't.
At some later time, did you ascertain that spreadsheet?
Well, I understood later that Mingo was using a spreadsheet.
When you say later, when do you mean? That
It
same
would
day?
have been the next day.
And when you say that the matter was resolved,
Well, that is what she told me. She meant what her leader told her.
but did you make any attempt to find out as chair for yourself what really had been going on?
No, not at that time. Later. I mean the next day. The next day, or later that evening, I was told.
Later that same evening?
Yes, the same evening. That was late in the afternoon, so the evening later.
And did you meet as a commission on the use of...
The commission did meet on the 5th.
in relation to the use of the
Yes.
spreadsheets? And did the commission make a decision?
By the time we should make a decision, the decision would have been no spreadsheet. Mr. Mingo was up there making a declaration.
So, but just so that I'm clear, because
Yes.
this is a lot of information for a person
Yes.
from outside the jurisdiction,
I
you would
understand.
understand.
I understand.
The matter was discussed by the commissioners, by GECOM as a
Yes.
body. And what, if anything, was the
We
decision?
could not have finished the discussion because at the same time that we heard that Mingo was making this declaration.
So when Mingo made the declaration,
Yes.
I think you said that seemed unusual to you because it was your understanding that the tabulation wasn't complete.
Yes, of course.
And did you as chair try to do or say anything to Mr. Mingo?
No, not at that stage because you see, then in the meeting, Commissioner Corbin told me that, you cannot interfere with the RO. But then what I said, once Mingo had made his declaration, there is a remedy for it the next day, then I would have been able to.
Can I ask this?
Yes.
When you say that Corbin said you can't interfere, and just so that I know, because I don't know who Corbin is.
Corbin is a commissioner.
Yes, is he a lawyer?
No, he's not. But he was one of the old commissioners there, and he just said, you can't interfere. And during this debate, that is the time when everything happened about the same time, we got the message that Bingo was making a declaration.
All right, so when he said you can't interfere, I noticed that you say at your paragraph 5, could I ask you to please look at it? 4 and 5 of your statement. You say section 162 of the Constitution empowers the Commission to exercise general direction and supervision over the registration of electors and the administrative conduct of all elections of members of the National Assembly. I think 162B, as you point out that the next paragraph says, the Commission is also empowered to issue such instructions and to take such action as appear to be necessary. For what purpose? To ensure impartiality, fairness, and compliance with the Constitution and all the legislation on the part of persons exercising powers or performing duties connected with or relating to the matters set out. So, to an observer to this process, which I am inquiring into, it seems that if there is any action or event that would attract or engage the provisions of the sections that I just adverted to, namely that somebody was attempting to declare the result of an election without the tabulation having been complete, that this would be such a case. Is that, I'm perhaps misunderstanding the section.
I am guided by section 84.2 of the Europa, which says that I would have gone to the parties would have had, they could have made a request the following day after the declaration, and they would have, either the RO would have granted it or he would have turned it down. If so, well then I had planned in any case to give a recount.
Do you know whether the Constitution would supersede the Europa?
Yes, but I am just guided by the thing. I didn't want to interfere because at that time I was handicapped. I did not have the SOPs.
I'm just, I won't belabor this point, but you said at some part of your statement that Mr. Mingo was making a declaration. As far as I knew, the tabulation for District 4 had not been concluded. To my mind, not being a GECOM commissioner, that's a startling action, that's a startling event by any standard in an election process.
Yes,
so I wanted to know, given that you outlined these fairly wide powers under the supreme law of Guyana, was this a situation which could engage?
It would have been for the Commission.
Right.
Not for me.
Yes. Did you seek to convene to bring them together to say,
no,
listen, a serious matter has happened?
I did not.
You did not.
Because after that, the now AG, he went to the court.
You went to the court. All right. On your paragraph 17, you said you met the American ambassador.
Yeah, she came up to me.
Who said that you were going to meet diplomats in a meeting. Did you inquire what that was about?
No, she just told me. I thought then Karen Cummings, she was the minister who invited the observers. She probably just came to meet and greet with them. It was only afterwards we heard what took place.
All right. Paragraph 19, you said that you didn't leave when there was
No.
a bomb scare, and to the best of your knowledge, no incendiary device was found.
Yes.
Were you aware that officers of GECOM were attempting to get people to leave the building because of the bomb scare?
Yes, of course. The CEO told me that we should vacate the building
Yes.
because there
But
was
you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Did you say anything to him like, I don't believe this is a...
I didn't say anything to him. He was just passing and he told me, and then we started to talk about it, myself and Commissioner Shadi, because we were sitting together. And we just decided we were not going anywhere. We were sitting here because we were by the steps.
Yeah. Did you hear that the Deputy Chief Executive Elections Officer had instructed people to leave the building?
I am not aware
Not
of
aware
that.
of that. When you say that you decided to remove yourself because you became very stressed and afraid that someone wanted to harm you, there weren't police officers in the...
Not near to me, because I heard people say they were going to break the door. So nobody was near to me. I had a security, but I didn't want them to fire any gun. Nobody was in the room there. And I heard, because I don't know what was going on outside. We were at cross purposes.
So, not with your
I was
personal
afraid.
security was armed?
Yes, but I would not allow anybody to fire a gun. I'm very much afraid of guns.
Sure. When you say you stopped taking phone calls,
I couldn't be bothered because at that time I was very upset with the events of the day.
I find that a little odd, though, I must say,
Odd?
Judge.
No.
Because if you will allow me to
Yes,
say
let me
why.
hear what you're...
It's not a confrontation, I'm just inquiring. We've been asked to inquire to find out, and since I don't live here, you will understand. I'm trying to find out what happened so that I can fulfill the duties that I swore to try to fulfill. So when you say you couldn't be bothered, I have to ask, you were the chairperson of GECOM.
The people
You're not allowing me to finish.
Yeah, but...
You don't want me to ask the
Yeah,
question?
you could ask the question. You could ask the question.
You'll have enough time to answer. I promise you it's merely to try to find out what happened. To repeat, I'm not from here. I know nothing of this process.
I understand.
So I'm trying to inquire. Based on my readings from all the reports, from all the observers and so on, this matter attracted severe global attention. It was quite a commotion in the days, it caused you stress. But to say you couldn't be bothered seems odd because you're the chair and you're in the middle of a very serious situation. I simply want to know, that at that point, did you call the other commissioners and say, look, I'm feeling stressed, let's meet together and weather the storm. I am not taking this on my own. Did that occur to you, or you just prefer to shut yourself
No,
away?
at that time the commissioners might have left. This was later in the afternoon. People were leaving. But I went upstairs because of, I was stressed out. And that's it. It's my personal moment when I went up there.
I understand that the reason I have to ask the question is because I am signaling, telegraphing openly that it's a statement that concerns me. For the chair to say, I couldn't be bothered and so I should. So I'm just trying to ensure that I understand.
Well, all right.
One moment.
With clarity, what your position is, so that if any statement has to be made by the Commission on this matter, we have the benefit of your full, digested thought on what I have asked.
Well, I was not speaking then when I said I couldn't be bothered. I wasn't speaking about the commission work or anything. This is personal. When I say I couldn't be bothered, it's just that I don't know, I just wanted that quiet moment and then I heard all this noise. And I was afraid for my life because when I heard people running up the stairs, I thought they were going to harm me because the people say they want the chairman, and I heard
Did you summon or call for police support?
I called Miss Amna Ali because I knew her, and I told her she was a minister.
Who is Miss Amna Ali?
Miss Amna Ali was a minister of, I think, social cohesion, and I called her because I know her very well. And I called her and I said, I'm very afraid for my life. And I said, I don't know. I heard people breaking the door. Who else to call? I don't know anybody else to call.
But wasn't it a matter of calling the police?
I don't know where would I have call the police from because I didn't have any numbers to the police.
Through your security, perhaps?
No, I didn't think because it just panic.
It was a stressful
Panic.
situation. All right.
Commissioner, you would not understand what was happening, and you would not understand because you didn't live here what stress I was going through and the threats which were making against me.
That's precisely why I'm asking you to help me understand.
So because that, you see.
So you say, Inspector Narayan, you knew him?
Yes, because I was a police legal advisor, and I knew him from major crimes.
And did you ask him for support that you felt fair?
I didn't ask him for support, and I don't know how, but my hand, like somebody had called me and I pressed, and then I don't know how I touched Inspector Narayan's number. And he answered me and asked me how I was doing, and I said I wasn't feeling quite well.
You didn't say to him that you felt in fear of your very life?
No, I didn't tell him that.
But he was a senior police?
No, well, not at that stage when he spoke with me.
I see.
Because I only panic when after I hear the breaking in.
Yeah.
And
You said you were told by your security to leave the building?
earlier, the backup vehicle which follows my car.
Yes, I think those are my questions.
Judge, may I ask you to look at paragraph
Thank you, Judge.
16?
Paragraph 16.
This is going back to Commissioner Corbin telling you that you cannot direct the RO to shop. And that the RO has its function.
Yes.
And then here's another sentence. The other commissioners had run out of the room.
Yes, that's after they heard that Mingo was giving a declaration. I remember saying to Raj, everybody said, look, we're sitting here having a meeting and look, he's giving, and they run out.
So it was in that setting
Yes,
that
the commotion started there. So we didn't finish our meeting, and we did not address what Commissioner Corbin said.
Right, paragraph 19, you speak about the bomb scare.
Yes.
Prior to being told by, was it the CEO,
Yes, this year.
that there was a bomb?
Yes. He told me there was a bomb reported to be in the building. That there was a
Had
report.
you heard anything at all from anyone about a bomb being placed or likely to be placed in the building?
No, I didn't hear anything like that. That was the first time I was hearing that the bomb was there.
And the atmosphere at that material time was tense.
Yes, of course. And persons left the building.
Having regard to the atmosphere, the tense atmosphere, and having regard to what the CEO told you, you still had, you did not think that he was speaking, that there was a bomb scare, there was any threat.
I didn't really think there was a bomb planted in the building, because in Guyana we're accustomed, especially sometimes when they have cricket, or people would say there's a bomb scare. So like something told me that I was in my own mindset, I didn't think there was any
But this
bomb.
is a most very different situation.
Yes, but somehow I didn't feel that.
You did, and you did not.
No. If there was a
At
bomb,
that point in
I
time,
was sitting near to a step.
sorry, at that point in time, you were in a room with the late Commissioner Shadi.
We were sitting on an out
Yes, but
area.
both of you were in the room, no one else.
No, other persons were around.
But did they leave the room?
Some persons didn't leave.
Or did any person leave?
Some, I saw many people on the road.
Leaving the room where you were? I'm speaking of the room in which you...
We were sitting in an open area.
Yes, I know that.
I didn't look around to see who, but I saw people on the road, and I didn't see people rushing.
Right. Look at paragraph 22. That is going back to your,
Yes, when I was upstairs.
when you were upstairs, stressed out, not taking calls and so on.
Mm.
And your last sentence there is, the DCO was not in the room with me. I stopped taking phone calls and answering messages. And you've already said why. And then you say, I did not know who to trust. What exactly do you mean by that?
In a kind of, in that situation, I couldn't
Well,
trust
what you say
anyone.
in that situation?
Well, being where I was sitting in position of a chair,
Yes.
I didn't know, and things went wrong, like Mingo declaring the results. I don't know,
Well,
because Commissioner, again, I
No, no, one
can't
moment.
mention certain
I'm just trying
things.
to find out, as my brother here told you. We just inquiring.
Commissioner, there were threats against my life.
I know there were threats against you. So you're saying you did not know who to trust.
Yes.
Now you were in a room. There is a security detail assigned to you, and he's within distance, a short distance from you. Is that correct?
Yes, he was this.
And he was armed. In that setting, when you say, are you referring to you did not know who to trust? Was it a reference to GECOM officials? Was it a reference to fellow commissioners?
Not really, not fellow commissioners. or-
GECOM officials?
No, just
Well,
people. Well,
Was it
I am
not?
just speaking about something at large. It's like, people, well, I don't know, when people, you see, Remember, I was a stranger in GECOM, you know, I had just gone there, I didn't know anybody.
How long were you in GECOM prior to the election?
Election? I was there months, because I went there in August 2019, and the election was in March 2020.
You went in March.
Election was in
19.
March, and no, I went in August,
August 19.
August 2019.
And as I said, there were other
29th of
commissioners.
August, I
You
was
met
sworn
at
in.
least 2 or 3 other commissioners who had been there prior to your time.
All the commissioners were
All the
there.
commissioners. So I imagine you would be briefed as to what goes on in the commission meetings and so on, how the meetings are conducted.
Yes.
I would ask, did you have any reason not to trust or entertain any mistrust of any of your commissioners
No, not the commission.
or any of your GECOM officials?
No, not GECOM officials.
Why do you vote? So, I'm grateful for the chair's question, because you clarified that it's not that you didn't trust anybody.
No, it's not in there.
You in fact trusted your fellow commissioners
Yes, of course.
and the GECOM staff.
Yes.
So,
The staff that I knew around me.
when you say I stopped taking phone calls and answering messages I did not know who to trust, again it seems like
No. Can I just explain,
moment.
Commissioner?
Judge, you have to await completion of the
I
commissioners.
listened to him, but I know where he's going.
One moment, please. I'm just asking, would you kindly await completion of the commissioner's question before you answer? We understand what you're experiencing, anxiety and so on, but bear with us. Bear with us.
Thank you, Chair, and I apologize for the having to go back to the question, Judge. I truly am, but I have to also fulfill my duty, as I said. When you say I stopped taking phone calls and answering questions, I did not know who to trust. That leaves me with the impression that you stopped taking the phone calls because you didn't know who to trust. But having heard you tell the chair that in fact you trusted all your commissioners and you trusted the GECOM staff who were around you, it seems odd that as the chair you would turn off your phone at such a critical juncture. It just seems odd.
My phone wasn't turned off, but different people were calling, and I don't know them.
So what were you doing? You said you were not. The phone was on.
Yeah, I was just
It
looking
was
to see
ringing?
who was calling me, yes.
And you were not answering at all.
No, because I don't know the person. Strange numbers.
Yeah, but would you not have expected at that time, having regard to what was taking place, that you may have been receiving telephone calls from either fellow commissioners or GECOM staff? Did you not consider that?
I know the GECOM commissioner's number.
But Judge, you see, the importance, the question is important because in fairness to you, it should be said that at least one commissioner has come and said at this juncture they tried to reach you and couldn't. Or you said that you know the commissioner's numbers. And so it there was a little tension in the evidence there, which at some point we're going to have to try to resolve.
Well, maybe he phoned me by a different number, I don't know, but if I had seen a commissioner number, I would have answered the commissioner.
Okay.
Again, all the more reason why you should have been taking calls.
Well,
Because who
really,
was calling you?
what I say I couldn't be bothered is how I was feeling at that moment in time.
Notwithstanding how you were feeling, the office you held was not in abeyance at that time. You continued to be the chair of GECOM at all material times. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Now, well, you did answer my brother that when you called Anna Ali, it was just because she was a friend of yours.
Yes, and I knew her.
Yes,
and
right.
I knew she was a minister, and I know she would give me some support.
Right, that's okay.
Sorry, when you say you knew she was a minister and would give you some support, what kind of support do you mean?
Well, I said, like security.
So you asked her for security?
I didn't ask her. I told her that I was afraid for my life, like someone was breaking the door. I was panicking.
And she said, I'll send some security.
Yes, she
said,
didn't say
some-
I'll send support. She'll speak with somebody.
with a-
And I take it that it would be the Minister of, the Minister of Home Affairs. And
send security.
yes.
Judge, were you aware that at the GECOM building, there were ranks behind the police force?
Well, I saw some downstairs, but
Were you aware also that there was a commander, Thomas,
I didn't know Commander Thomas at that time, and I didn't know who was in the building. I saw policemen when I was doing this.
But in answer to my brother, you just said that when you called Amina Ali, you called her out of
Panic.
panic because you knew her
Yes,
and you knew she would act.
yes.
And at that point in time, your main concern was for your personal
Yes, that's
security.
it.
But you have a security officer within close reach of you. Do you ever think of turning to that person to say,
No, I didn't turn to my security at all. Because I was afraid people were breaking the door. And they were in, I was hearing all the shouts.
where was Miss Ali when you were calling her? Did you have
She
any
was
idea?
in some building, maybe her office, because
don't
I
know? You don't know where she
I don't
was?
know. I called her number. I was just telling her because I was really concerned.
Okay. Paragraph 26. This is where you spoke to Azul, Superintendent Azul.
That was by the door when you opened the door.
Yes, told me that they could not take me out of the building. And other police ranks would take me out. That is
It
what he
means
told me.
he took me downstairs.
No, I'm looking at what you said. I spoke to Senior Superintendent Azul.
What paragraph is that?
26.
Yes, 26.
Can we look at it quietly?
Well, that is...
One moment. You read it?
Yes, I read it.
I spoke to Senior Superintendent Azul, who told me that they could not take me out of the building, and other police ranks would take me out of the building. But he eventually took me out of the building with my security officers and drivers. So that, as I understand it, he's indicating to you that they could not take you out of the building at that moment, but there are other police ranks in the building. Did you understand that?
Yes.
And eventually he, together with your security officers and your driver, escorted you out of the building.
Yes.
I take it on the way out of the building that you saw other police ranks around.
I saw the police ranks in the building and outside.
Now, we have heard evidence that on your way out, Commissioner Corbin was, and you demonstrated earlier on, was sort of huddling you in a manner that no one should get close to you. One moment. You told us that you were not aware of this,
No,
of his
I wasn't
presence.
aware of
Sorry. Were you aware of the presence of Commissioner Hudlin coming down the stairs, following you?
I wasn't aware.
He wasn't aware.
Because I didn't see him on the stair or anything,
Okay,
but
he wasn't
maybe
aware.
coming out of the building. I don't really know because so many people were there.
And that is something you subsequently heard.
Yes,
That
I
he was-
heard that, but I was not aware.
Okay. Paragraph 35. This is the afternoon of the 13th of March, when you were told by the CEO that they were moving to the GECOM headquarters. And there's more than one person has indicated, has given us that evidence that there was this movement from Ashland to GECOM. When I asked why, according to you, he said it was because they didn't have the facilities they needed at Ashland. My question to you, Judge, is, did you inquire of the CEO what facilities were needed or were lacking at Ashland?
I did not because I thought that it was operations, that event was banned by operations and they would know what they were about.
Repeat that again. You did not because...
No, I didn't ask him what facilities because then operations was manning that event. And I thought they knew what they were about.
But were you curious as to why?
No, as I say, I was a stranger to GECOM and I thought that, you know, at that stage everything was okay. I didn't see anything wrong with him going under there because normally they have events there. And I thought that maybe they're just coming there, it would be more under control or whatever. I didn't ask him.
You know, Judge, speaking for myself, I am a little concerned when you say you did not ask him. And one of the reasons you were a stranger to GECOM.
Yes, because I had just gone there, yes, but I didn't ask him. I trusted him then. I thought that, you know, he was doing something which would be transparent and everything. I
But you
didn't
don't know
think,
because you're the very
no,
quiet.
I didn't know.
And if I may interject on that point, I think it's because you were new to GECOM that the curiosity should perhaps have been deeper to ensure that you understood what was happening and that no suggestion could be made that as chair you weren't taking the requisite interest in administrative oversight of the election.
But you see, we were having a lot of events under that shed, so I didn't think that far. I didn't think, I just thought that it just one of those things.
As you said, you trusted him. While the chairman looks at some of his notes, could I take you back, forgive me, to your paragraph 25, please?
Yes.
At this point now, you're in the room, you fear for your life, you're stressed, and you want some time to think. The door is breaking, the door breaks open, and you see Dr. Josh Kanai, who you represent.
And Narayan, Inspector Narayan.
And Inspector Narayan.
And I felt very...
And you feel relieved.
Yes.
So then, I think the next, what I'm trying to understand is, you then realize, was it then you realized that people would thought that you were being held
Of course,
captive?
that's the point.
All right. So having clarified that they weren't there to harm you, and I noticed you still proceeded to be escorted down.
Well,
May I just finish? I'll be finished shortly. When you reached at the bottom, you saw the ranks, as my brother the chair said, and so on. Did you then say, there's enough police officers here. Nobody was out to get me. It was only Dr. Josh, who I know, and the police. Let me give them some instructions and resume my duties in this building as chair.
well, that was late. There was no other duty there. Everybody had left, most people.
All right. Yes, Chairman, let's follow up.
Thank you.
Justice Singh, prior to the commencement of the tabulation process, did the Elections Commission arrive at any decision on the process to be followed for tabulation? More specifically, did the Commission arrive at the decision that tabulation was to be determined through the use of statements of poll?
Yes. We never determined
No,
using
that-
spreadsheets, yes.
So
Yes,
the
yes.
Commission took no decision about the use of spreadsheets.
That's
The
correct.
established decision was
Use of
statements of polls were to
Yes.
be used. Thank you, sir. Now, at paragraph 11 of your statement, you say that on the morning of the 4th of March 2020, Ms. Shadiq told you that she was going downstairs to the ground floor because, in speaking with you, she said someone was using a spreadsheet for tabulation instead of statements of polls. Can I inquire as to when you received that information from Ms. Shadiq, did it occur to you that if that were true, that's a complete deviation from an established commission procedure?
Yes, but can I explain what Ms.
No,
Shadi
please,
said?
one moment.
Okay.
So you recognize immediately that this was a deviation from
Yes.
an established
Yes,
commission
it was.
procedure. Did you want to know who the someone was who was using it and doing this, using a spreadsheet?
Well, can I explain what
Certainly
Ms.
now,
Shadik
yes.
said? Ms. Shadik said that she was leaving the exercise we were doing, and she was going downstairs because Mr. Barajagyo had called them about that someone was using a spreadsheet. That was what she told me.
Yes.
And she was going down to inquire. So when she came up, she told me the matter was resolved.
No, my question was, did you not worry about who the someone was?
Yes, I was.
And what did you do?
Well, I was waiting her to return to tell me what took place because she said he was calling them for a meeting.
You had to wait a long time then?
No, it wasn't long.
Well, you followed by saying quite some time after that, the matter was
Well,
resolved.
it wasn't sometime like long. It would have been about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes when she came back.
Quite some time after that, you say
No,
would have
well,
been
that
about.
is not quite correct. Quite some time, but it's about 15 minutes.
Okay, and did you learn who was using the spreadsheet?
No, she told me the matter was resolved, but I understand
That was not, please.
Yes, I heard that after.
After meeting what? When she came?
No, sometime later. I heard that Mingo was giving someone a spreadsheet to use.
And were you alarmed by that?
Of course.
And what did you do?
Well, then I inquired, and they said that they had gone back to the SOPs.
Didn't you think it important that the decision of the Commission be reaffirmed to the people who were involved in the tabulation process? You cannot use any spreadsheets. It is in violation of a decision of the Commission. Did you do any such reaffirmation of the...
No, but we told the CEO and everybody, and I told Mingo himself that...
You told Mingo
yes,
yourself?
of course. I told Mingo the day when we went to the court. I told him.
So he was well aware of the Commission's decision?
Yes, I told him, and I warned him after the CTV had gone to the Chief Justice Court. I told him when he goes back there, he must use the SOPs, and he told me yes.
I don't know, and I'd really like to find out. The people who were to be involved in the tabulation exercise, these were to be DROs? These were the authorized people?
Yes.
So if clerks were doing it, would that have been something that was not approved?
Yes, that would have been.
So clerks would not have had any authority
No,
to be involved in.
no.
Now, at paragraph 15 of your statement, you said that you were in a meeting with
Commissioner.
all the commissioners
Yes.
and the High Commissioner for Canada came into the room.
She knocked at the door.
Yes. And she announced that Mr. Mingo was going to make a declaration of results.
He was making a declaration.
You say was going to make. So she was alerting the commission.
Yes.
And you say at that stage you knew that the tabulation for District 4 had not been concluded.
Yes.
Did it occur to you, Judge, that some measure had to be adopted there and then to stop that?
By the time we came up there, Mingo, everybody ran out. Mingo had already made his declaration.
So when the Canadian High Commissioner spoke, everybody ran out of the room?
Yes, everyone ran out. Because this is something unheard of. Nobody thought that would have happened.
But Commissioner Corbin didn't run out.
I didn't look for Commissioner Corbin. I don't know.
Well-
I came out myself because
You ran out too?
no, I came out because I was called out. There was someone from the Commonwealth Secretariat and Observer who called and said Barney Scotland would like to speak with me on the phone.
You see, I'm just following your statement. You say, you remember Commissioner Corbett saying that you cannot direct.
Oh, that was earlier, during the meeting, before that happened. And when we were about to answer Commissioner Corbin, that's when the knocking came on the door. Apparently she too was surprised that the Mingo was going up there to make a declaration.
Did you make a response to Commissioner Corbin when he said you can't direct the RO how to do his job?
Commissioner, that is what I'm trying to tell you. That before I could have answered Commissioner Corbin, this knock came and everybody ran out. It's during that time.
The knock came from the Canadian High Commission?
Yes,
And she came in and made an announcement.
yes.
And then everyone got up and
Yes,
ran out.
everybody came out and ran out because they wanted to know what was going on. It was something unheard of. And the whole place was in chaos.
An uproar.
Yes, big uproar.
A common-
Everybody shouting.
So by that time, Mingo had made a declaration.
Yes,
So the context then would be that Mingo made a declaration
yes.
and all of the districts of Region 4 had not been tabulated.
That is true.
Do you know how many districts were outstanding? If you can, if you
No,
remember.
I don't.
You don't, okay. The Ashman's building was gazetted as a tabulation office or the office of the region,
The region,
RO?
RO of region.
so that was a designated
Yes,
under the control and supervision of GECOM,
yes,
in which you had executive authority.
yes.
And you learned that the government minister is going to use this building.
No, I didn't know.
You didn't
That-
know,
no
you didn't know
one
that there
ever-
was going, did you know that there was going to be a meeting which you thought would be a meet and greet?
No, I didn't know. When I saw her there, I thought that is what she was about. I didn't know she came to give them some warning. I didn't know. I heard about that after. No one informed me.
When you say, I did not see it as my place to stop a meeting, were you aware that there was a
No,
meeting?
at that stage, I didn't know what type of meeting. I thought she was going there just to meet and greet the observers because she's the person who would issue the invitation for them to come.
Were you curious to ask what it was about?
No, because when we saw her, she was already in the room speaking to the people. So I wasn't aware that there was such a meeting.
No, but when you say, I did not see it as my place to stop a meeting,
Well, because at that stage, I didn't know, Commissioner, what type of meeting it would have been.
whatever kind of meeting, Judge,
But how-
a minister of government is using a GECOM building to conduct a meeting for whatever purpose. Did she ask your permission to use it?
Nobody did. No, she did not. I was quite surprised seeing the minister there.
On that issue, may I just ask, when was that issue of the Minister coming into the building and having a meeting, was that issue subsequently discussed by GECOM commissioners?
Not really.
I didn't say not really, it's either it was discussed.
No, it was not discussed.
It was not discussed.
No.
I just would like to take you back to paragraph 12, where the Deputy Chief Elections Officer asked you to go downstairs.
Oh, yes.
Now,
This,
now we know there was a pregnant employee who apparently was not feeling well, and you were appreciably concerned about that employee's well-being.
it was the evening.
Sorry?
It was an evening.
7:30 p.m.
Ah.
Yes. You were the employee was pregnant and was not feeling well.
Well, I was told that by Miss Myers when she came to me and asked me to go down.
So you went down and you asked the people in the room to show some mercy, to
Yes,
her,
some compassion.
some consideration to
Yes.
her, given her condition.
And that she didn't eat for the day. I was told that.
Perfectly understandable, and your response is commendable. But Ms. Myers told you that, in fact, she asked you to go down
Yes.
to speak to the people in the RO's office since there was a commotion.
Yes.
One moment. There could not have been a commotion because the woman was pregnant and was feeling unwell.
Okay.
Did you want to know what the commotion was about?
Yes, this is what she told me, and when I went there, they complained me. They told me that they had expected the CEO, because he had promised that he would, from start to finish, he would have completed the tabulation, and he did not. And they said that they did not understand why all these delays. So I told them the CEO had told me he was leaving and he would be back shortly. So they were hoping that he would come back. And then someone said they will go and get him. And I understand he did come back. So
Did
they
come
were
back?
yes, they were complaining about delays. That is what they raised with me. And that is what the commotion was about.
Would I be correct then to suggest that they were complaining about delays
Yes.
and the consequential protraction of the tabulation
Yes,
exercise?
that is what they were complaining. And then if Ms. Meyer if this girl should leave, then there will be further delay. And then Mr. Anand Nandalal even came in and he said he would get DRO. That is when the CEO came back.
Yes. One moment. Now, it was the CEO who told you there was a bomb in the building.
Yes,
And as far as you know, the building was searched for a bomb and nothing was found.
that is true.
Are you aware that the DCEO handed to a police officer on a subsequent day a styrofoam cup with something that looked like a clock and had something like a camera lens in it, and asked them, this was found in the room. I'm not sure, I don't want to be accused of saying something that maybe she did not tell the police. But whatever she did, it caused the police to take that object, and they had a cursory look at it and determined this was not a bomb. Are you not aware of that?
No, Commissioner, it's the first time I'm hearing about it. I never heard it, even at Commissioner level.
I'm not surprised, Judge. I'm not surprised no one told you.
No one told me. And I should have heard that in the commission.
Well, I would expect that someone...
Because Ms. Myers used to sit in the commission.
Yes. Now about your room and the noise. Are you, at that time, were you aware that there was a row of police, I think mainly police women, blocking entrance to your room?
I wasn't aware of that at all.
Would that video be available so that the judge can have a look? Because her answer, she's unaware I can understand that if she's locked in a room. But it might be helpful that she could see what was happening outside.
A row of policewomen.
There were some policewomen when the attempt was being made to get to the room. Unless they were at another room and I'm mistaken.
I would have to get some feedback from the people who are controlling the device on which the video is stored.
I don't know.
One moment. Yes, so you don't know about these police women being in
No,
front
I
of
never
you.
heard about that.
And
And that
when-
is why I panicked, because I wasn't aware anybody was around.
No, just bear with me. When you went to that room, who accompanied you or who were the persons in the room with you?
My security and my driver.
One
Nobody
security?
else. Yes, one security and a driver. Because I normally would have two security, but one was in the vehicle. That's what my security informed me.
One was in the vehicle.
Yes.
But when you were going out, I'm sure somewhere in your statement you say you were accompanied by two security detail and your driver.
Well, that was a mistake because my security corrected me that the one was downstairs in the vehicle.
So the information about two security
Yes,
is an error.
that is
It's an error. Okay. Justice Singh, did you at any time that day speak with the Commissioner of Police?
No.
Did you ever request the Tactical Services Unit?
No, I did not. The only person I spoke with is Amna Ali. I never requested any form of police.
Did any GECOM official ever advise you that they had requested the Tactical Services Unit
No
to
one
come
did.
to the GECOM?
No one.
As we speak now, are you aware that the police, the Tactical Services Unit, went to the GECOM building to clear persons out of the building and to secure the building? Are you aware of that now?
I'm aware of that now.
When did you first become aware of that?
Shortly after, maybe the next day.
Were you concerned about that?
Well,
A GECOM commissioner was asked to leave the building.
well, I was told that, and I was very concerned about that, of course.
Were any inquiries made by you as to who requested the police to go and do that?
No. We never asked any questions.
You.
I never asked any.
You said that on the 12th of March, the Deputy Chief Elections Officer, Ms. Myers, told you that her understanding of a ruling by the Chief Justice was that any means could be employed to do the tabulation.
Yes.
But from your understanding, and you read the decision of the Chief Justice subsequently,
Yes.
that was an incorrect view that she...
Yes, because she said the people were divided. Some were saying that, and some were saying. So I said I will get the Chief Justice decision, and so I knew it wasn't.
The GECOM shed, where the process was shifted, was not a place of tabulation that had been approved by the Elections Commission. This was a
No.
decision taken by some GECOM official.
The CEO,
The CEO took that decision,
yes.
but it was not approved by the commission.
No, that was never discussed with the commission.
You did actually ask him, why are you doing this?
Yes, I did.
And he said, because of a lack of facilities at the Ashlands building. Did you inquire what facilities were
I
used?
did not, because I just thought, well, he was there and he knew all about what, he needed, and if people would be better accommodated there.
But you do know that at the Ashlands building there were chairs and
I'm
there were
aware
tables.
of all of that.
So, you know that at the shed at GECOM headquarters, they were using some kind of sheet, cloth,
I was told that.
and a projector. These were things that could have been put in the back of a car and transported to GECOM, the Ashlands building, which was the approved tabulation center by the Elections Commission. There would have been no impediment to achieving that. You agree?
Yes.
Thank you. And now I come to the CEO. Looking at your statement, it appears that you wanted a report to conclude the elections process based on the recount, figures which were known to the Commission. Am I right?
Yes.
Based on your statement, it seems to me that you had to make 6 attempts before you got this report from the CEO. Was there any effort made by the Commission to discipline the CEO?
No, Commissioner. There was a motion eventually to have him dismissed.
No, I mean at the time when he was...
No, because we wanted the report. Everybody wanted the report.
Yes, you could still get the report and have disciplinary
Yes,
proceedings
but-
ongoing. None of that was done.
No.
There is a document, it doesn't bear a date. Oh yes, it does. 26th of June 2020. It's titled a press release.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. I saw it only. I saw it.
Yes. It's under the hand of the Chief Election Officer. Did the Commission give its approval for
No,
him to issue a
no
press
way.
release?
No, not as far as I know.
And this Chief Elections Officer was at all material times under the supervision of the Elections
Yes,
Commission.
of course.
That's correct?
Yes.
Yes. In this press release, this gentleman describes himself as a constitutional officer.
He wasn't.
Sorry?
He was not a constitutional.
He was never a
No,
constitutional
he's
officer.
an election officer.
Yes. Thank you, Judge.
May I be permitted one more, Chair? When on the afternoon of 13th March 2020, the CEO told you they were moving to the shed at GECOM headquarters, did that require some kind of official process like gazetting and so on?
Not as far as I know, because this was just a venue, and I say that is the headquarters of GECOM.
Thank you. Yes, Chair.
If I may,
Yes?
Judge, I take it after the 5th of March, it would be correct to say that the GECOM commissioners had to focus a lot of time and attention on a number of court matters which were filed. Do you agree?
Yes, after the fact.
And another thing which took up a lot of the attention of the commissioners was the arrangements for a recount. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
Thank you.
Judge, I forgot to ask you. You wrote to the chief elections officer, I think on the 9th of July.
Yes.
And then he sought some clarification from you.
Yes.
And then you replied
That my
to
letter
say
said.
your letter of the 9th stands.
Yes.
But we have not seen that letter.
You
Do you
have
have
not
it?
seen it?
Was that put in?
Yes.
The letter of the 9th?
Yes.
No, we didn't have a copy of the
You
letter
did
of
not?
the 9th.
It wasn't in my exhibits.
No, we had the letter referring to the
To
letter
it,
of the 9th.
yes.
Yes.
But could you make
I
that
will do
available?
that. I will make it
Please, that would be
available.
very helpful.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Nothing further, commissioners. This is our last witness for this period of time.
This being the last witness, this brings to an end the public hearings for this part of the year until we resume on the 4th of January 2023. I wish on behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners to extend our heartfelt thanks to all who have been here and supportive of the Commission. Ms. Choud and her team, the indefatigable Mr. Javed Shadi and his team, the media, the listening public, and those who are responsible for giving us our morning coffee and tea. Please, we thank you all and we look forward to seeing you in the new year. I take the opportunity again on behalf of all of us here to wish you all a happy, safe and holy Christmas season.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.